Hashtag Nightwatch update on the MonaLeo and the Breakfast Club interview. Let us help you understand distortion and propaganda from the Negro historical investigative narrative, supported by the Negro Institution of Delineationology and Investigation, by Roland Dunham II with master's degree in investigation. Today we're going to have an honest conversation about what is distortion and propaganda and how it negatively impacts the Negro American history and our cause to why we are participating in delineating from the African diaspora. During the interview, MonaLeo stated she wanted to create a space to turn up and have a good time, black community and unity, while being cloaked in Black American heritage flag, and she had a problem that Black Americans are being identified as being Negroes, even though she was wearing the first original Negro flag. While she uses the N-word, which is an ethnic and racial slurs, throughout all her songs and records. This false narratives and equivalences that some of you young adults use these days only demonstrates how much you may not be aware of how rich our Negro history and culture truly is, and why it should be protected and preserved at all cost. I myself was raised in a home where Negro history and black culture and traditions were taught in the home through books and deep conversations around the kitchen table. I did not come from a women-led home, but from Negro/Black American family that was once headed by a black father. These values matters especially when it comes to leading these types of discussions about culture, heritage, and traditions to form a patriarchal social system that we as people lack because of our biases, anti-Negrophobia, anti-Negronativophobia, self-hatred, Willie Lynch, and misandry we have against black male leadership in our communities nationwide. This functionality gets promoted on the Breakfast Club and gets encouraged under false validation by all the males who were in proximity of the interview, and then it gets reinforced socially as the appropriate behavior when discussing our culture, heritage, lineage, and traditions. This is why we need to be honest about the interview, so we as a community can do better marketing and promoting our causes on the large platforms from the likes of the news media outlets, podcasting, radio waves, social media, and more. The goal of this critical analysis is to declare when you wear our heritage on your back, around your neck, or on your clothes, please make sure you represent us in the best of light and be able to articulate what you are doing. Make sure you give yourself and our community purpose, self-respect, and self-worth, because this is what truly means to promote self-love and self-awareness. Anything less should be met with resistance for those that misrepresent us. It does not matter if you are male or female or straight or not. It is a standard that needs reinforced by a code of conduct, which our elder Dr. Claude Anderson have talked about in his book called Powernomics. What makes MonaLeo music video a form of distortion is that she felt justified to change the red in the Black Heritage flag to pink. The red in the flag based on the Black American Heritage flag pledge that the red is meant to be mindful that represents the blood shed by our forefathers. This is why a woman who supports female matriarchy would openly disrespect our fathers, because she might not have a forefather or a man in her life that she truly honors or respect. Even if the alterations were approved by the heir Joy Charles K., she is still distorting and misrepresenting her father's work, which is disrespecting our heritage and lineage. This is why there needs to be a social contract on products, inventions, or intellectual property that represents our culture, heritage, and lineage, to protect us from the heirs that do not honor the legacy and the work of our respected ancestors. If you are interested in doing such work, please join the Negro Black Knights Heritage Club and support our government, the NBNU World Government. Come join us so we can separate, defend, and protect our way of life from those that hate our way of life. Because we can save us from destruction with the grace of God and Jesus as all Negro Black Knights that raise their swords in honor of our ancestors, bloodlines, and Creator and/or God. Now can we get an amen? Because we want to operate in the truth in a righteous manner to defend our Negro history and our people. Now to the propaganda part of this video, we are going to explain why MonaLeo interviews should be deemed as such and why she should be canceled. The Black American Heritage flag is not the new Pan-African flag, nor should it be viewed or promoted in that manner to mask up the harms that we have endured as being Negroes or Black Americans living in the United States of America in the system of white supremacy and white dominance. Our heritage flag should not be joined with other flags with the intentions of creating false allegiance, partnerships, and solidarity when none of these countries have never made such ventures with our community as a collective or as a nation through contracts, laws, and resources. Promoting these false narratives is the propaganda that can lead us to be taken advantage of as a collective under the guise of Pan-Afro-economics. This was discussed in my book Delineationology, The Science of Delineation for the Negro American on Chapter 2. Pan-Afro-economics is a fraud scheme that is rooted in the following: anti-Negro nativophobia, melanin minstrel facing our culture with the intentions of doing melanin material impersonation / misrepresentation with the intentions of fabricating a solidarity with nations that once human trafficked our ancestors through the transatlantic slave trade without any reparations is the propaganda to avoid accountability of the harms that was done to Negroes and the descendants of Black Americans. She has the right to talk about solidarity, but is she willing to do the political work that is required to make it the reality? If not, then she should never lift our heritage flag in the name of Pan-Africanism, and she should have used the Pan-African flag that consists of the colors red, black, and green. Some of us strongly do not appreciate MonaLeo flat melaninating our heritage under fake narrative relationships, even though she might personally live her life or do business in that manner. We do have a right to protest and reject your advances when she uses her cultural art form with the intentions of trying to change our political interests through enticing our women in our community. Her actions and behavior is deceitful, divisive, and socially irresponsible with the intentions of sowing confusion in our community through her degenerate rap songs she calls music. We have a right not to join her and her African diaspora friends into the burning house of diversity and multiculturalism with fake allies, friends, and solidarity. It is our God-given right to pursue effective policies, reparations, and tangibles for the human rights violations, genocides, and more that's still plaguing our communities nationwide. If you stand against that MonaLeo, then you are the weirdo with pink hair who is still living in her childhood instead of being a woman doing right by our people. If you like our Negro commentary that is rooted in lineage-based collective community thoughts, then please make a contribution to the Dollar Delineationology Cash App or $10BKHC, which is the Negro Black Knights Heritage Club. Our work is depending on how well we support our causes. And thank you in advance for supporting us so we can investigate and legally address the harms of Negroes and our Black American descendants domestically here in the USA.